progressive, sporty, and elegant.
The Q3 is a very unique vehicle because it is the perfect combination of a classic SUV and an extremely sporty coupe. It was very important for the design team to achieve the proportions that we had in mind, to define the vehicle's stance when it is actually on the road. The car always reminds me of a predator preparing to pounce, simply because it feels an urge to move forward. So we wanted to create a very, very clean and smooth design and to express the car's modernness with these clean lines. This vehicle also offers a lot of variations, so you can give it a very sporty look while at the same time allowing for a very elegant and upscale appearance. The LEDs, the daytime running lights, fit really well into the Q graphics. We wanted the headlight contours to be very clean and simple, but their interior to really stand out. This brilliancy was particularly important to us in the rear, so that when the lights are out, everything is very dark, and then right when the rear lights come on, this sharp luminosity suddenly appears. I can really imagine spending the day in the mountains on an exhilarating drive in this car, maybe doing some sports with the mountain bikes in the boot, and then later on in the evening taking my wife to the opera in it.
Sporty, efficient, and comfortable.
It seems that we're talking a lot about the environmental compatibility of cars. Especially young drivers pay more attention to this. So it's important that our compact SUV is a vehicle that is exactly that, environmentally compatible by virtue of lower consumption. That was our goal, and we've done a good job of reaching it with this car. Our primary target in the aerodynamic development was to get the Q3 to surpass the competition, not only in air resistance but concerning wind noise as well. It was extremely important for us that as little wind noise as possible reached the driver's seat and the other seats as well. And we achieved this with very low air resistance and an interior noise level that is absolutely unique for a car in its class. You can see this in the measures taken on the rear end of the vehicle. A large spoiler, side spoilers, but also the very intelligently designed taillights. But there are also a lot of elements that you can't see, at least not at first glance. This vehicle has a very, very efficient and well-designed underbody that helps the air resistance rates to meet their target. I would really like to drive the Q3 to Paris. I think that the elegant lines and the athletic appearances would be a perfect match for the cityscape. So that's where I'd like to go take a spin.
Progressive, individual, the high quality of the material.
Our primary goal for the Q3 was to find ways of reaching new audiences. For instance, the athletic young guy living in the city, but maybe throwing his surfboard in the back and driving down to the beach. Or maybe the more mature customer who's looking for an elegant automobile to go to the opera. And that's what's possible with this car and its capacity for individualization. So, for instance, the young guy wants a louder color with contrasting accessories, while the mature client would rather have an elegant variation with more sober tones and a darker interior as well. The Q3 is unique because of the maximum possibility of individualizing it and also because of the high quality of the materials used. This decorative element with aluminium 3D effect is a first here in the Q3. What makes this material so special are the different layers on top of each other, so that this particular character appears. And there's a whole world of beautiful colors for the exterior as well as for the interior. We have 12 different exterior colors, with lots of sober tones, but we also have really loud accents in orange and a very pretty new brown tone and also a new grey one. In the interior we have 3 different varieties of cloth and 2 different leather choices as well. I'd love to drive to Cape Town in the Q3 and explore the surrounding landscapes and the coastal areas, especially because of the panoramic sunroof and the fantastic seating and the colors that fit in perfectly with the landscape.
Progressive, space, appearance. Also das Tolle am Beifahrersitz ist, dass
We've combined 2 functions in the passenger seat. For one, the reclining function for the seat backs that can be easily activated to adjust the seat back and forth for an optimal sitting position. And then there's the collapsing function to bring the seat back into a horizontal position. So when you fold down the rear seat bench, you have 3.5 meters of additional space for large objects like surfboards, snowboards, or even skis. The unique thing about the Q3 is that it offers the customer an extremely individual design. We have different choices of leather, like our fine Napa and the Milano. We also have a wide variety of different fabric choices with many different designs, and an array of colors. We have sport seats, basic seats, electric adjustment, manual adjustment. We have a central armrest in the rear seat area that can be folded down, providing the client with a lot of variable design option. The issue of lateral support, the issue of seat length, the issue of back comfort, sensory issues are the most essential aspects of seating.
Im Sitz ist eigentlich das A und O.
I actually think that San Francisco would be a cool city because it's really very hilly, so you might be able to test a bit of the SUV sensation on city streets.
Dynamic, elegance and sporty.
New demands on mobility require a vehicle to be not only dynamic and athletic, but also to be environmentally friendly. The Q3's engines demonstrate this very well. We offer the customer a lot of torque with even less consumption, thanks to direct injection and turbocharging. We reduce consumption in both engines by reducing the friction in the powertrain. We were also able to optimize the combustion and could even integrate a cast steel turbocharger in the TFSI engine in order to reduce consumption during customer use, in other words at full throttle. We've pushed the entire powertrain of the Q3 in the direction of optimized efficiency by offering Quattro drive with every engine fitting. Using Quattro drive technology, we can vary the torque on every axle from 0 to 100. We also offer the start-stop system and recuperation with every motorization, which is a great utility for customers in everyday use. I'd really like to drive in the Alps in a Q3 because, as was mentioned before, it's a dynamic and athletic means of getting around. I'd like to take it up and down the mountains. That'd be great.
Das wäre was für mich.